Hey everyone, this is Lord Devin from the ECF forums, and yes, I'm dressed as SpongeBob. Anyway, today I'm going to do a little video on how I mod my Vornado. One thing I want to take note of is once you do this mod, you will always have to make sure that your mouthpiece is on or it will leak out the bottom. We're going to be thinning the wicks. I'm actually pulling some wick out. I'm going to show you how I take it out and pop it back in. Now I only had one unmodded Vornado left over. And because of that, I could only do one take. So there are a lot of ums going on. I do that. And I do shake a lot. I was hoping not to be shaking during this, but I was. I'm also going to be breaking into my Flip Ultra HD camera, the world's cheapest little HD video camera. That's been discontinued, so you can get them cheap. This is the Vornado that I just modified. It works very well. I can hit it over and over and over, and I do not get any dry hits. Now this is probably about 3.9 volts right now. The volt goes from 4.2 at a full charge down to 3.7, and I will be doing the volt review very, very soon. So this is the Vornado. I'm inhaling that one. And there's no dry hits. Consecutive hitting over and over. None of them are dry. It's very good. Now this is a 70 PG, 30 VG juice. That's a caramel mix that I made. That's very, very good, actually. I finally got one that was good. So here's the video. And this is the one that I just modded. And here's how it was done. Okay, so I'm going to show everybody how I modify my Cyclone Vornado. We have our tools. This is a tool I like to use. I picked it up for using on the fleximizers because it's got a little hook to pull stuff out. And works great for the Vornados, but you can use tweezers or forceps or even a pair of scissors to get here. You just need something to take these little tabs, and you can see the tabs on each side. And what we're going to do is push in and out so that just one side, and pardon my shaking, I do shake, so that one side pops out. It is a little bit tricky. You don't have to kill it, and as soon as the ring starts to lift, at this point we can pull it up a little bit more from that one side. And what I like to do is grab it, get under it, and try to lift it just a little bit more. And I'm just going to ruin it. So now we're going to take the center and pull it out. And it will remove the rest of the ring for us if we've got it loosened up enough. And it doesn't look like we do. There we go. Alright. Okay. So, we've got the cartomizer and the tube out. And there's a couple of things to notice here. Most of the ones that I've received have one long wick on one side and a smaller one on this other. This one seems to be pretty decent. I'm going to trim this side down a little bit. Get the scissors. And just even this side up a little. I'm going to trim it down a little bit as well. Now, some people are actually taking this tube, which pulls right off, and are increasing the size of the slits. I don't usually do that anymore. I did that in the beginning. I find that if I thin out the wicks, I don't need to do that. So I'm going to take a pair of tweezers or forceps or whatever you got, and I'm just going to take a couple of strands of this wick, the thicker side at the bottom. I'm going to pull it out just to thin it down a bit. There we go. So I've still got wick in there. It's just been thinned down, and it should wick much better. Now we're going to take this, put it back into our Vornado, and the one trick is to make sure that the center tube hits the mouthpiece, the little air hole in the center. When you're putting this back in, be careful, otherwise it'll be a little tricky. I love forceps, so. Alright. There we go. Center and push. And we're just going to push this back up. And if we have it in all the way, like we do here, you'll see that the little slots to put the O-ring back in are present and visible and not being blocked. Now this is the trick. This is the trickiest part. You've got to make sure that your fattest end of the O-ring is down at the bottom. And we are going to place one side in, so we can see. Get it so that it's down in there. You'll hear a little bit of cracking. You may break something. They still haven't leaked after I've broken them. I'm going to push that down in more. There we go. Now we've got one side in the slot. It's not all the way in because the ring is still on an angle. So if we've done everything properly, we should just be able to push this bugger down. Snap the rest of it in place. Alright. No cracking, no breaking, and everything looks good. Something else I do, and I don't know if everybody else does this, but I do. I like to make my air hole bigger. So put something in it and just twist. Twist it around in a circle. And it will make that center hole much bigger. And hopefully remove that little tube piece, as you can see. Pull that sucker off. And then pull it out. We'll pop the mouthpiece back in. And now we have modded it. Again, you could make the center tube a little bigger if you'd like. It's not that tricky. I know it does look like I'm just popping this stuff open, and you may break one or two. It's okay. You know, they're fairly inexpensive. And once you get one and you get it wicking right, it will kick some serious butt. There you go. And as you can see, our mouthpiece is at the air hole. We have a much larger air hole. I may scrape that down. It's got a bit of plastic flake on it. And we have our Vornado. Well, I hope this helped. Anybody who wants to mod their Vornado, they're a little tricky, but once you get it down, they work and they just hit like mad. The flavor is great, and it's well worth getting some of these and modding them. I mean, they are whistle tip. We know I'm not a fan of the whistle tip, but they're still good and they work well. So try to mod yours. If you're afraid to, toss it aside. There's so many other things. The Stone 2 is out. The Got Vapes has a lot of different stuff, as do many other sites out there. But I like the Cyclone Vornado, especially once it's been modded. So again, I hope this helped, and happy modding. I'm out of here.